Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Hello? You're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we're in my kitchen doing loads of fun things, but really we're here to talk about my thrift haul and my Asian market haul. I was lucky enough to, at the Asian market, be allowed by Sunny, the lovely lady who has worked there and I believe owns it, but she's the real caretaker of it for years. And then Peggy had all these errands to run. It's a funny story, actually, if you want to hear it. I don't drive anymore. I gave that up for like money reasons and trying to cut down costs, you know, getting down to one car and just sharing it. But the days that Alex takes all the microgreens that we grow to Seattle, to all the fancy restaurants, he has the truck all day. And if I have to work on that day, then Peggy, my mother, who lives like 20 minutes away, comes to help me out. So, anyway, I go into work today, and I'm not there till tonight. So I'm like, oh, okay. So Peggy says, don't worry, I'll take you later. So I'm back home in between errands. And I decided to stop and have a thrift haul. And I decided to stop at the Asian market. And like I said, Sunny let me film. And so make sure you check out that video. It's the one before this. Yeah, so if you guys want to see, I'm going to open up a coconut and wait for people to come on. And then I'm going to do my thrift haul and Asian market haul so that if you guys have questions, you can ask them. So until I see somebody pop on, I'm just going to do that. And if you're watching this and it's not live and that's boring to you, then you could just fast forward. Okay? So I love this, but I end up refilling it usually with the big one, right? And then I got the different flavor because I like Bluebell better. And Bluebell, I believe, turns up in Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. We'd have to look into that. I have it right there, but I've got more going on. Right. Or I love putting Florida water in there and diluting that with water and spraying down the counters. That works really well. You know, the reason lives are awesome for me too is that I don't have to limit myself to a 30-minute video. I don't have to speed talk to get all the information out, which is really nice. Because my cell phone is what I film on, and it only lets me film for 33 minutes. And then it turns into 2 videos, somewhere around 33 minutes. And when I'm doing my reading and stuff, I have a lot to say in between the reading, which I think it's neat that some people enjoy following along. And with their own paper copy of their own book, following along and, you know, on the side where it's blank, writing my notes on the subject, their own personal feelings, highlighting certain areas. That's all really cool, you know. When I film for videos, if I have dishes in the sink, I just cover it up with a towel, if you're wondering what that is. It's dishes. So, Alex has plants over here that he's taking care of. Let's move those. Juckshy Farms. J is in Jennifer. U is in Unicorn. K is in Killstar. U is in Ugly. No, wait. K is in Killstar. S is in Shy. H is in Harmony. Y is in Yes. And then Farms. F-A-R-M-S, like Old MacDonald had a farm. And its name was Juckshy. So I had a lamp that I got at a thrift store a long time ago, and it had kerosene in it, or a very potent lamp oil, which is probably kerosene. It's great, but I left it outside and like the peacocks got to it and like there's dust and dirt on it, so I'm going to clean that up later on. I'm just saying, if I can't find a lid for this one that fits, I'll end up turning this into an art piece where I put sand in here and a working inside of it and send it to someone. So if you're interested in something like that, I'll attach my Etsy page. Hello to whoever joined. Welcome. We are doing a live thrift haul and Asian market. I'm going to show you both those live so that if you have any questions, will be fun. I was going to cut into a coconut, but if you have any questions, please go ahead with any questions that you may have. And also, I really need to know if anybody knows what this bone is that I found on the beach. It really reminds me of the only place I've ever seen it is in that fake video of mermaids, Decoded or whatever what it's called. And that actually was supposed to have happened on the beaches where I live. So like, is this a mermaid skull? It's really thin though. But what is it? I'm not really great with the marine biology. So cutting a coconut that I got from the Asian market. And this time I ended up getting 4 of those. And if you're a member of my channel, you know that they turn into lovely potpourri after the dehydrator because you take all this outer shell off. And then inside is that coconut where you make the floating bath candle. It's so awesome. And the in-between stage after you drink the milk out, it looks like this before you take all the husk off, right? So I'm just going to cut into this and pop in a glass straw. If you guys have any questions, go ahead. While we're waiting for more people to get here so we can see some of the things I thrifted and got at the Asian market. That will be fun. Alright. For getting into the shell. Hello, whoever joined as well. This is a really great knife, and you can tell where I've used it. I used that back end piece for hacking into the shell. And if you watched my last coconut video, you saw how I used the technique of cutting away so I could hack in. I can't do it super close to the camera because it will shake and rattle, and I've made the thing fall down before, so my apologies. So any questions you have, please go ahead about herbal alchemy, witchcraft. I'm learning about hoodoo just as much as you guys are. A lot of you know more than me, so you could put questions about hoodoo, but about what your dehydrator, what you can put in your dehydrator. Any questions about room closet witchcraft? I always have really creative ideas for that. Okay, so what I've done here is I've just cut out an entry point for the back of the knife to get into. That way you can cut the shell in a really nice tight circle for your bath candle. Otherwise it can look really like chippy and edgy if you're not careful, all that yada yada. So I'm just getting this because I literally want something to drink, and you know, we'll be viewing all these lovely things that I got today. We were at what, $43 at the Asian, no, yeah, $43 at the Asian market. It was a big, I got 2 dragon fruits for my husband as a gift because I wanted the shells. It was a selfish gift, but he's just going to throw the shells away anyway. And then $36.97 at the thrift shop, and we got some really awesome things, you guys. Keep your fingers out of the way. You could even do it in that shape that you wanted. What is a 5 double-sided shape called? Is it called a pentagon? I don't know. I think that it is. Oh, the neighbor's dog. Come on, Bubs. Not right now. His name is Ruben, and I call him Rubik's Cube. Woo! And that's another reason they spray and splatter, so if your phone's there, it's dangerous. There we go. It's always good when you can feel it start to kind of open. Alright. And as you can see, we have the beautiful young Thai coconut. I need to take a drink so that I can show it to you. As long as the milk is clear when you pull it out of the straw, you're good to go. But as you can see, they're just really, really drippy. Hey Mandy, how are you? I thought of you at the thrift store because there was this little box and it was a mirror box and it said Mandy, but it was spelled wrong. It was spelled M-A-N-D-Y. Otherwise I was going to get it for you. It was so cool. I thought of you though. So let's look inside of here. Remember, if you're going to make those noodles, to save the coconut juice as your broth. Woohoo! And I took like a lot of big sips. So yeah, hi, I'm so glad you're here. So then, once you I like to just drink it in one big giant gulp because you get like kind of high on energy, which is cool. So here we go. There's this teeny tiny spider coming down behind the camera at this very moment, and it just stopped. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. It's like sitting right behind the camera, a teeny one. Like teeny. Oh, now he's going down. Anyway, we have a friend with us on our side as well. Beautiful. So yeah, you guys know how to clean those all out. We talked about that 100 times. I just needed to get something in me before we started showing you what we got. And this is a thick one. It's got like a double layer. It might be a little bit older. I love spiders too. I mean, not if they're on me. That's spooky. Okay, let's start our... What should we look at first? Thrift or Asian market? Which one do you want to see first? Thrift! Okay, alrighty. Thrifty, difty, duty. Thrifty, difty, duty, duty. Okay, first, we've got it's not exactly Witchcraft, but this is a sports bra and it's got space all over it, okay? And I really like the space energy. And then this one has got a leopard print and it's taxidermy, okay? So they were both $3, and I'm considering those Witchcraft just because I can connect everything to Witchcraft and saying that the print, I'm harnessing that energy, right? So, got those two for $3.99 each. I thought that was a steal. I never really pay a lot for sports bras unless I go to Whole Foods, where I got two and they were like $45 each, but they're crazy cool and comfortable. I showed them before. Okay, what else did I get from Thrift? I got this oil lamp. And it's a different type of oil lamp, right? It's an oil lamp, blown glass, that just burns like a candle. And it was $1.99. So I was thinking of Raw when I saw this, so I will burn this at my little altar space that I've got for Raw. Yeah, it is funky. Lady Grave Dancer, hi, how are you? Welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Please welcome. So the next item I got for Thrift was this telephone. And you guys know that I use that big antique brass telephone for the metal energy, right? But also for that communication with my granddad, where I have his altar and his hat and a cigarette for him and a cigar and all this stuff, right? So this phone, I thought, why not open it up, all the open bits, and stuff it with herbs. Communication herbs from what I refer to most, Scott Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs. So, you know, gut the phone, maybe put some casing on the bottom so that you can see the herbs, but have that for communication. And you guys know how literal I like to be with the communication, where it's like, the better you can envision it, and a lot of people have a hard time visualizing things. So the more literal you can get, it's really easy, and that's what it's like for me. I've always had an easier time with like word association and stuff. So this was $5.99. It's not as cool, I suppose, as that one that I got that's really old and brass and heavy and awesome, but it's cool in a different way because I can do a lot more with it. Thank you! I appreciate that you like my take on magic. Okay, so next I got a shadow box glass type of thing. The wood, it's an IKEA wood. Let's see if it says what it's made of. Made in China. Not sure. Possibly I could look it up, or I could just phone my uncle and he could tell me. But this wood just is a nice light wood. It smells nice, and I'm going to do some kind of like curio shelf or something to hang on the wall with that, and I'm really excited. I have no idea what I'll put in there, but it will be great. Then I did find an oil lamp while I was there. It doesn't have a top, but you guys, there's going to be a lot of times when you're thrifting that you'll find the tops and you'll find the bottoms separate, or they're in the same shelf in the same store. Hello, welcome everybody who is here. This one's got some really cool images on it though. I don't know if we're going to be able to see. They're wagons. They're like old covered wagons and barns in the back. And I really dig it. And then on the bottom, now there is a little bit of oil in here, however, just smell it when you're in the store. If it smells really strong, just know, especially if you have pets, children, and that, let it air out outside for a while, like I did with that one behind that I showed at the beginning of the video, okay? So this was $3.99 at Goodwill. Super inexpensive. I'm going to give it a clean out. Even if you just wanted to use this for art, because it's clear, you can see inside of it. So you could put sand inside of it. You could, remember that fertility working I did with the egg and the chicken's foot and all that? That chicken's foot was inspired by you, Lady Grave Dancer, how you like to spray paint them. I've been painting them and then putting Mod Podge over them so that they're kind of like shiny. So yeah, I did a working where there's black hexing sand in the bottom that I made with a lot of different things. The chicken's foot, some eggs, a balut. Was really cool. So you can use these for art as well as the actual like hoodoo oil lamps that we talked about, right? Where you can burn the herbs inside of them. The monies inside of them. The monies. So great. So we picked that up for $3.99. Excellent. It's actually got a great length of wick in there as well. And that's something you want to try out in the store as well to make sure that all these things are working well. And it was. So I will be putting this outside to air it out. Next, we've got, I think this is the rest from the thrift store, this baby girl, who is really, really cute. The reason I got her, though, was because I adored her dress, and she looks just like an outfit that my niece would wear. I'm going to make a poppet for my niece. My niece is into this like 90s grunge revival type of thing with like the velvet and all that, and like she's really cute. So I'm taking this to do a poppet and then make it more into her with, you know, like I'll use hair that I get from the hair supply store, and I'll put, you know, pick her hair color and do that like actual hair. So she has like a dark black hair. Just make it your own though. Then on the inside I'll take all these bits and pieces off and do maybe some binding workings on the hands. Remember we talked about binding the hands, these little porcelain guys, if you're trying to get somebody to stop gossiping via text. Bind their fingers so that they can't text about you, you know. Do these as literally as you can. And we can save the legs for art. You know, under here there's porcelain legs. You've got little doll shoes. All of this stuff was $3.99. And you've got a bonnet. You've got hair to work with, a wig. You've got a head that when you... Well, remember we dismembered dolls on this channel before. I think more than once. But basically, you get in here and you can use the hair for another poppet in the future if it looks like somebody that, you know, is what you need. You just have all these bits and pieces. You get in here and it's a piece of foam, and then the head you can use for a planter for your favorite herbs. You can use it for candles. You can make candles inside of the head. All kinds of things. Super great. So I just like all this little stuff. The last thing that I want to show you from the thrift store is this, and it was $3.99, and it was shouting and screaming, and she's so gorgeous, and even her hat is just so Bella the Ball, but her eyes are crazy beautiful. So everyone say hello. I don't know if I'm going to take her apart, but I mean, I had to have her for $3.99. I adore every part of her. Her dress is humongous. It's this big, you know. So I'm really excited about her. She is missing a shoe. You know, if those things are important to you, look for those things. But, you know, she's got a lot of pieces to her that are just really super great. Hello for whoever just joined. Really like her. If anybody wants to say what maybe a name would be for her, go ahead and shout it out and I can start calling her that. She hasn't given me any vibes, so I'm listening, aren't I? But this hat is just so fantastic and gorgeous. Next, let's talk about what we got from the Asian market, because I'm really quite excited about that. So, down here, love having my fruits that are special that I'll be using in my magics in pottery that we made by hand. My husband made a bunch of pottery when he took 2 or 3 classes, and so I like using that for my magics, definitely. We've got rambutan fruits, and I'll show you what those look like dried because we put those in the dehydrator. We've got dragon fruits, which are so awesome. And if those of you who work with those dragon magics, that would be great for you, right? These could definitely be used as masculine symbols and workings if you were working with fertility, or anti-fertility or whatever, or, you know, like I said, keeping his nuts in a jar to keep him from leaving the house and straying away if you're having problems with your man. Then next, this is really something. This is a banana blossom, and it's big. It's this big. It's as big as my humerus, yeah? And I'm excited. I'm going to open this up on a video with you guys. So we'll be doing that tonight or tomorrow. Next, I've got a big daikon radish, and my plan with... Oh, well, of course we'll be drying these leaves and keeping them. Why not? I'll just open it up a little bit and show y'all what it looks like. So, ooh, look! Beautiful flowers right on the inside there. I do remember Alex got one of these once. And I asked Bunny at the Asian market, I said, what do I do with these? Like, how do I eat them? And she said, you saute them in with your, like, stir fry. So that sounds good. But I don't think she's talking about the leaves. I think she's talking about these flower bits is what you eat. So that's awesome. But I will be drying those for magics because I'm not going to be eating it this time. And then these are going to be amazing for doing workings inside of, okay? If this is a banana blossom, then think about, you know, sea witch type of things. You could use that as a literal looking boat. Right now I'm drying something in the dehydrator that looks like a boat. It's a papaya skin, but it's a small round papaya. It's a variety that Alex found. But these are gorgeous, and they're bright purple, vibrant, almost maroon energy, or color. So associate that with your color magic. But hey, that's pretty awesome. I'm really excited about that. And what did we pay for the banana blossom? Let me just give you a reference. The dragon fruits were about $6.50 a piece. The rambutans for 20 of them or so, which is a lot. If you're going to sit down and have lunch, that would feed you. Well, it'd feed me. But I snacked throughout the whole day. Okay, so dragon fruits was $13 for both, so $6.50 a piece. The rambutans were $7.83 for 20 or so. The banana blossom, this was $3.66. Oh, we also got these. I don't want to forget to say that. We got these gobo roots, yamagobo. It's a Japanese root, and it's very, very potent, and it's very strong. And they put it in a spider roll sometimes, and when you see it, it comes in the really thinnest part of the root, and it's dyed bright orange, like fire safety orange, I suppose is what you would call it. So you've got these like very, very thin roots, and some of the parts are big, and when you get it in the whole form, it's sometimes up to here. You know, the whole root is so big. When you get it like this at the store, they've just cut it up into firewood, if you will, and put it together for you. So I'm going to be drying these for wands in the dehydrator down here. And I've already got sticks in there at the moment. And I have two dehydrators. I have one that I use for foragings and ones that I use for things that could be edibles, you know, because you want to definitely keep those separate, especially with the chicken's feet, right? You don't want to have the chicken's feet ever in the same dehydrator, because dehydrators don't get to the point where you need to cook chicken fully. So you need to kind of like really think about that. If they don't get to that point of cooking, then they always have a raw unless you scrub them out. And these cheap dehydrators, you can't really scrub them out as properly as you need to with chicken. So that's a really good thing that I don't think we've ever said to really keep in mind. Next, we have two things that might be kind of gross, so I'll say trigger warning, but you're here on the Taxidermy Witch, so obviously we're going to talk about weird things, right? We have beef blood. Not too crazy, not too gross. Beef blood. Really beautiful color. It looks very, very fresh. It was frozen and I need to get it back in the fridge, but I wanted to show you what it would look like. And so yeah, it just says that, and under the ingredients it says beef blood and sodium citrate, which I'm guessing is a preservative. Why do you want to have beef blood? Well, you could use it as blood substitute, or you could use it to like channel your lovely, lovely cow energies. You guys know that when I was a little girl, I grew up on a farm, and I really enjoyed, they were my besties, that's all I had, because my brothers were so much older than me, and my parents were at work 24/7, so I was the youngest, but it just felt like I was an only child. So we had a big farm, it was just me and the animals. And I was at peace with that, and especially now, I'm so happy about that, you know, because that's why I feel like I have, you know, some of these abilities and talents that I've got is because of my time with these little guys. So, to me, beef blood's not the craziest thing to be working with, and I really like working with cow tongue and doing a spell on one of those for anything, communication, shut up, whatever. Next is one I've never worked with, but I'm going to really think about, I'm doing it, but I just don't know what I'm going to use it for. And it's beef bile. Okay, so it looks just like the other one. It says beef bile, ingredients, beef bile and sodium citrate. And it looks like this. So bile is the acidic bit from the lining of the stomach. I'm not a doctor. That's definitely not my gig. I'm just a massage therapist that learned, massage school 12 years ago. So that's that. All right. What else did I get? I got 4 of these young Thai coconuts, which y'all know we get them to the point where they're bath candles, and before that, after we eat them, they're like this. After we eat them and scrape them out. Okay. Mod Podge them so that the bottom part is completely sealed, and they just literally float in the bath. It's really beautiful. Okay, so I did tell you that, and right, we just drank the juice out of this young Thai coconut with this cool glass straw. Had some nibbles off of the top, and beautiful, right? So those are kind of all the steps, but backwards. And yeah, when you dehydrate the outside skins, you have this beautiful, lovely vanilla potpourri. Woo! Smells so good, you guys. And when I package my Etsy orders, I throw some of this in for that protection element to keep your delicate things safe, and also because it smells so, so good. It's not like I packaged the whole order in it, though. Don't get me mistaken for that. Next, I wanted to show you what the dragon fruit skins look like when they dried. So that's this one. And I would like to say that I'm going to try and dry them more whole, where I cut the top off and eat the whole fruit out of the inside, kind of like a coconut more, like this, but it's going to be in the shape of the dragon fruit. So I'm going to try to just cut this small end off, and then keep it attached, eat the dragon fruit out of the inside with a spoon, and dry the whole thing into a big open shell. You hear me? But here's what it looks like so you can do a working right inside of it. It looks so awesome, I think. Because, look, when they're dried, they do keep color. I take these out in the moonlight with me, just like Lady Gravedancer suggested on her channel. When I first started watching Witchcraft YouTube, because my first stuff was in books. I first started learning in books early on. And then when I branched out to YouTube and started realizing that, like, I was calling myself a witch and I was learning more from everybody, she was putting her things out in glass in the moonlight, and I thought that was the most awesome thing ever. So all my herbs that I sell on my Etsy, I take them out in the moonlight, and I just spend a lot of time with them. I kiss them, all of it. But look how nicely these dried. The color is super vibrant. See how nice the color is? And the crinkly edges are definitely still on there. They don't dry as yellow, but these are the half shells, and they didn't stay in the form that I wanted them to. Definitely can still use them. Absolutely I will. But I'm really hoping to get this in that whole entire shell to where we can do workings right on the inside. So that's my goal. And then lastly, let's look at the rambutan fruits when they are dried. They're really bright. Red. Ballsy looking. And they come out like this. And you can do workings in these teeny tiny half shells, or little offerings, perhaps. So I like them. They don't keep that fiery red, but they're great. So, if anybody has any questions or comments, I just wanted to do a quick live to talk to everybody and show you my thrift haul, because I've never done one live. But also, does anyone know what this is? Because otherwise I'm going to keep thinking that it's a mermaid bone. It looks like, that, here's my black background. There you go. It looks like the frontal bone of a cryptozoology mermaid, right? That's what it looks like to me. But I know it's probably something else. Let me show you up close. Where's my what do you call them? Oceanographers and I said the word before. There was a cool crack in it, though. Either way, I'm going to do something really fun with it. But if it is a mermaid bone, I need to call somebody. Alright, all my love. Jen, Taxidermy Witch, thank you for joining me. Lady Grave Dancer, thank you for joining me if you're still here. Have a beautiful day, you guys.